asifiwe. That the Lord is my Ebenezer. My name is Mercy Wanjiko Monjogu. More to that, I am born again. I love the Lord because He first loved me. And I rejoice to be called a son of God. Bwana asifiwe. We are going to read from two scriptures. The first one is 2 Kings chapter 6. And our message today is taking our rightful position. 2 Kings chapter 6. We are not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm going to pick up some highlights. And it says from verse 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and of the fourth part of a can of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hid her son. We're going to skip to chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord, thus says the Lord. Tomorrow, about this time, shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, in the gate of Samaria. And verse 6 says, For the Lord had made the hosts of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots, and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, Lo, the king of Israel hath hired against us the kings of Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. Whenceforth they arose and fled, and in the twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold and raiment, and went and hid it. Then and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it. Then they said one to another, We do not do well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, We came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man, but horses tied and asses tied, and tents as they were. Let us go to the book of Joshua, chapter 6. We're going to read let's read up to verse 5. Now Jericho was straight shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor, and you shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day you shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And verse 10 says, and Joshua commanded the people, saying, ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you shout, then shall you shout. Bwana asifiwe. Our heading and title of the message of today is taking our rightful position. And I ask a question. Why do you think Joshua and his army won that day? And I answer you, it is because each person was in their rightful position. And each person performed their role precisely. No one interfered with another's business. Each one of them minded their own business. And orders and instructions were followed with precision. Bwana asifiwe. When I was thinking about this, I thought about our armed forces. When I was a young girl, my mother used to take us for the celebration of national days of our nation. And the highlight for me personally, because I was a young girl, was watching the armed forces in action. And what I admired most about them is what they call the silent drill. Bwana asifiwe. And they would march without any command from nobody. And they would make the right step, do the right thing without anybody telling them anything. Bwana asifiwe. The reason as to why they did this is because each person had known what they are going to do. Bwana asifiwe. They had been told by their commander, this is what you're going to do, this is how you're going to march, and this is the turn you're going to make at this particular time. Bwana asifiwe. And that is what the Lord is calling us to do today. Bwana asifiwe. That we do the right thing, we position ourselves in the right place. What do you think if everybody decided to do someone else's duty? What would happen? Bwana asifiwe. I don't think we would have order in our days. Bwana asifiwe. Because I don't think I can perform what a surgeon does. Personally, I don't think I can do it. Unless I'm trained, I cannot do it. Bwana asifiwe. And what do you think if somebody was to be a pilot in a plane and they've never gone for training? Even, I'm very sure they would not even take the plane off the ground. Bwana asifiwe. Because there is no training. And for us as Christians, we've been called to take our rightful position in this Christian walk. Bwana asifiwe. I have a question for you, but I'll give you the answer, don't worry. What makes us not see God moving in our lives, in our situations? On most occasions, it is our inability to follow simple instructions we are given. Bwana asifiwe. You know, one thing I'm discovering as time goes is that God is not a God who is complex. It is us who complicate things. You know, most of the times we expect God to tell us to do very complex things. Like for example, when Elisha had taken the sons of the prophets to go and look for, they asked him to go together with them as they were going to look for the wood to go and build the extra cabins. One of the young men lost the axe in the water. Bwana asifiwe. And what happened is that Elisha asked him, where has the axe head fallen? And the young man pointed at where the axe head had fallen. And Elijah did a very simple thing. It was not complicated. Bwana asifiwe. Also with Moses, when God told him, lift up your rod so that the sea might divide. You know, in the times we are living in, technology has become so much until we see there are underground roads, there are some roads even inside the waters. But imagine God did not need the technology of man to do what he wants to do. Bwana asifiwe. And that is what is the reality of the matter. God does not need us to do what he wants to do. Bwana asifiwe. He wants us to stand in our rightful position. The reason as to why I asked you, what if all of us we are doing what somebody else does? Let me demonstrate. I need a volunteer. So no. I love you. Zoe, come here. Request us. We remove our shoes. Zoe, put on my shoes. Let me put on the shoes off. Solomon, put on Zoe's shoes. Let us go. Praise the Lord. This is what will happen. This is what, by the way, will happen if we are not in the rightful position. Can we clap for the demonstrators? When you try to be in the position that you are not supposed to be in, that is what exactly happens. Things go parakasha. So, I'm calling unto us. Let us stand in the rightful position. We question and argue. We allow fear and doubt to take charge. Whereas if only we just do as God instructed, it would unfold the victory of God in our circumstances or situations in our lives. All of us, we know God's instructions are not complicated. They are so precise and so clear. I think what makes us not follow them, we look for complicated instruction. I imagine God's instruction like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, when you're doing jigsaw puzzles, you have different pieces, and some are complex, others are simple. But reality is, you have to put each piece to where it belongs. If you don't put the jigsaw puzzle in the right place, you will not have a jigsaw puzzle that is completed. It will not be completed. Therefore, it is a call I make unto us, me included. Let us follow the instructions of our Maker. Concerning the stories that we have read, one is about Samaria. In Samaria, it's the enemy who had come and besieged the city, until people were in desperate times. Imagine a mother giving out a son to be eaten. You know, it's so unfortunate that we are living in hard times. We are living in tough times. And it is up to us not to give in. It is up to us not to give up. However dire the situation may be, I want to call upon us to know that God is on our side. It doesn't matter how much you've been pushed to a corner. It doesn't matter what trials and temptation you're going through. All that matters is that God is on your side. You know what? When that was happening, the Lord who the king used to lean on, when Elisha brought the word of the Lord, he said, even if the windows of heaven open, it cannot happen. But the truth is that it happened. And the unfortunate thing is that Elijah had told him, you will see, but you will not partake. Therefore, let us be careful that we may not just be seeing and not be partakers. Let us be careful to hear the instruction of our Maker and following the instruction in the right way. Because when we follow what God says, we follow. When He instructs us and we follow the instructions of the Lord, regardless of what we are going through, regardless of the circumstances surrounding you, the truth is that you will come out a victor. It is not that God is dictated by circumstances. God is never dictated by circumstances. He is above the circumstances. He's above the situations that we pass through life. And that is why He makes us able to go through each and every situation and come out victorious. Bwana asifiwe. With God you are sure where you stand with him. Because God is not kigeugeu. God is not kigeugeu. Unajua mwanadamu anaweza kukugeuka. Anaweza kukuambia, na nilikwambia hivyo kwa yeye alikwambia, lakini ukimwendea anakwambia, mimi nilikwambia. But God is not like that. Bwana asifiwe. He is God and he remains to be God. He is unchangeable. Bwana asifiwe. He is faithful. Bwana asifiwe. And he is a covenant keeping God. And when he says he will keep you, be sure he will keep you. He will lift you, be sure he will lift you. If he says that you are blessed, you are blessed. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter the circumstances surrounding you. It doesn't matter from which background you come from. Bwana asifiwe. God is faithful. Bwana asifiwe. We are called to follow the instructions precisely. We are called to take our rightful position. Bwana asifiwe, in this walk of life. Now, I go to the next story. It was in Jericho. In Jericho, now it is Israel that is going to conquer. Bwana asifiwe. And God had given instructions to Joshua. And Joshua had given the instructions to the people. And he had told them, this time around, we are going to go around the city. For 6 days, we are going to go around the city once. But there is no making noise. And when that happened, for 6 days, people went around. I'm sure the outsiders who are witnessing what is going on were wondering, what is wrong with these people? They are going around the city, they are not attacking, they are not talking. But the truth of the matter is, God was with the children of Israel. Bwana asifiwe. And he knew at the right time that he was going to take action. He knew when the walls were going to come down. The walls looked very strong. They looked immovable. But the fact and the truth of the matter is that God knew the walls will come tumbling down at the right time, at the right moment, as long as the children of Israel followed the instruction given unto them by God through Joshua. Bwana asifiwe. And on the 7th day, they went round, this time not once, but 7 times. And on the 7th day, when they completed the 7th round, they gave a shout and the walls came tumbling down. Bwana asifiwe. And there was no moving them back. Theirs was to move forward and to conquer the city. Bwana asifiwe. Therefore, when we walk in total obedience, we bring down the walls of flesh. We bring down the walls that are making us go down. When we follow the instructions of God, the spirit man is able to thrive and work with God. Bwana asifiwe. We do not question the instructions given to us, however peculiar they may seem, especially in the physical sense. We just do what the Spirit of God instructs us to do. That is, for example, in the story of Joshua, it was silent marching. You can imagine, those guys are just marching silently. And they are going around and they are not doing anything else. They are just marching. And after the round, around the city of Jericho, they go back to the camp. Bwana asifiwe. And if you have looked at it from a physical perspective, you think, these guys are crazy. But the truth is, God was preparing a mighty victory for them. Therefore, let us do as God is telling us to do. Let us be in the rightful position. Because when we do what we are told to do, when we walk in total obedience, we do not succumb to pressures of doing evil or wickedness. Like that woman who gave up her child to be boiled. Bwana asifiwe. We are not pushed to the place of saying, I am doing this because I have nothing else to do. We are not pushed in a situation of turning away from God. Bwana asifiwe. But if we walk in total obedience, we only see God, our maker. We only see God, our victor. Bwana asifiwe. Therefore, let us press on. Bwana asifiwe. Let us take our rightful position in this walk with God. Let us yearn to do what God requires from us. Bwana asifiwe. Let us be ambassadors of good tidings. When the lepers went to the camp, they went to the first tent. They feasted. They had a good time. They went to the second one. And then when they were going to the third one, they remembered there is trouble in our city. You know, unfortunately, the lepers had been outcasts. And they had been thrown out of the city. But the thing is, they were the people to bring the good tidings. And I'm sure when they went to call on the potters to open the gates, the potters thought that these lepers, I think maybe they have been paid by the enemy to trick us to open the gates, that the enemy may come in. But they insisted, and they told the potter that the camp is empty. And it is God who had made it so, because as the lepers moved towards the camp of the Syrians, he made the Syrians hear like there is an army of chariots of horses coming, and they were discussing among themselves, even as they were fleeing, and saying that the king of Israel have hired help. He has hired the king of the Hittites and the king of the Egyptians. Bwana asifiwe. Therefore, jipe moyo ndugu, jipe moyo dada, ukijua ya kwamba mbingu yote iko nyuma yako. Hata unapotembea katika huu wokovu, jua ya kwamba Mungu yu pamoja na wewe. Bwana asifiwe. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will never even desert you. Bwana asifiwe. Because he is together with us as long as we are in our rightful position. Bwana asifiwe. When we yield to being obedient and taking our rightful position, God comes through for us. Bwana asifiwe. And victory becomes reality. Bwana asifiwe. Therefore, let us trust in this God. Let us wait on this God. Bwana asifiwe. The Lord says that He's together with us. At all times, He's together with us. Bwana asifiwe. And He is there. It is for sure. As sure as it is, God is together with us. Bwana asifiwe. Therefore, let us be in our rightful position. Let us be in, that is the calling I am making to you and to me. Let us be in the rightful position. Because when we are in the right position, God will come through for us. Bwana asifiwe. And that is the end of my sermon. God bless you.